What's up, YouTube? What's up, beautiful people? It is I, your girl, UFO Mechanic 11. If you've known me for a long time, see Michelle 15. I can't believe. Man, so, oh hey. Um, so I'm 31 now. I've been 31 since February. But man, I'm officially like, hold on, what year is this? This is the year 2024. Okay. So I'm still like a year and a half into my Venus Mahadasha. And one thing I'm definitely learning, and this probably isn't like personal to me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm realizing how I made a post on Reddit, and I almost want to just read the post. I almost want to read the post that I made on Reddit. Okay? So, do 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 do. Ease on down, ease on down, ease on down the road. Um, dun, 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 dun. Here we go. All right, so this is a post I made in Reddit, and I don't know, like I just feel like I'm having I don't know, it's throwing it off. It's throwing off, I guess the I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna just read this post. Okay, so I titled it "The More I Know, the Worse I Feel." And here's what I said. Growing up in the church, we were indirectly taught knowledge was evil. I always had an issue with this. Now, as an educated 31-year-old who's learned a lot and continues to research and study as it's part of my nature, I'm beginning to think aspects of that church teaching were correct, at least for someone like me. I'm learning there's way too many options, differences, meanings, experiences, etc., for no one or two things to ever be completely right or wrong. I'm learning that possibilities are as endless as emotions and change according to the environment slash community slash society, etc. I'm learning more than I honestly need to know to live my own life. For a simple example, what good is it to learn about 50 different states when I don't know all the laws of the one I live in? Keep in mind, that's a very simple example. Basically, I'm wasting energy learning about all these things when my purpose is but a single thing. I'm clouding my mind with junk, even though for another it's their treasure. Too much knowledge really is disadvantageous. And then I was like, am I coming to the wrong conclusion? And different people had like replies and stuff like that. Some encouraging words. Some people kind of like, I get what you're saying. Actually, a lot of people understood what I was saying. What I'm saying isn't difficult to understand, but and I do appreciate the people that like responded to that post and were trying to like encourage what we would call reframing negative thoughts. That's what we call it in therapy, right? And and I appreciate all the different insights, or whatever people's opinions or thoughts, but it really is. I mean, you always know. Maybe you don't always know. I feel like I always knew internally, like deep within myself, in a subconscious way, even when I was way younger. Maybe it's because I'm Saturn Atmakarka. I don't know, but I've always knew something was off about existence and societies, humanity and consciousness, and like cultures and like war. Like I always knew. It just seemed so minuscule compared to the bigger picture. And one thing I do appreciate about humanity is that we are progressing, even though it's sometimes to the disadvantage of particular groups of minorities, of certain kinds of people. Um, we are always advancing, and I mean, it sucks to be on the losing end of that, of humanity advancing. And I'm sure it's amazing to be on the winning end. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I always say, you can only play the cards that you're given at birth. Um, so, no point in, I guess, being too worried about how unfair life is because it ain't gonna change. It's been like this since the beginning of human consciousness. But with my going back to my post on Reddit, I really have been spending more time thinking about, okay, Christian, you are learning so much. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As a Gemini ascendant, I'm always learning. It's in me. It's in me, not on me. But I'm always gonna be learning. I'm always gonna be like learning, and I'm always learning. I'm taking it in. Like I'm very, and y'all know if you've been here for a while, I am a life path 11. So a lot of that stuff is like coming in. I'm receiving. I'm processing, and I'm thinking about it. Like obviously, I can be a bit of an overthinker. Are you gonna come over here and act like you didn't? You gonna act like you wasn't pawing him? Now he came over here to be like, see, mom, I didn't do nothing. Clearly, it was you. Come here, kitty. Come here, Dee Dee. Y'all can play. You can play with him. You just gotta, remember that he doesn't always want to play as hard as you do. Anyways, they know. I was gonna say these niggas. These niggas have been brothers for at least a year. Because the cat is one, and the dog's two. Anyways, girl, they done got me sidetracked. What was I saying? They see, I can't get thrown off my flow, my groove. I can't get thrown off or else I'm gone. Oh, so basically, I'm always taking information and learning. And now that I have been given my 100% disability from the VA, which is a yay, but also like a damn, you had to get 100%, nigga. Like, like, damn, nigga, your mind must really be off its rocker, you know. And it is, although it's way better now than when I was in the thick of things. Thank God. But I have nothing but time, and so I spend that time doing a lot of just random researching. And I mean, I do have a part-time job, but it's with the family business, so it's kind of different. Like, kind of different in the sense that my boss is my mom. It's not really a boss thing. It's I work with the family business. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of different. But anyways, and that in itself has been really kind of interesting because, like, I do medical billing for my mom's private practice, and it's just been interesting because I've been just learning on the go. It's kind of part of that, Gemini ascendant. We are really like we learned really fast, so I've been doing it, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's not, it's been pretty cool. So it's kind of cool. I'm finally getting to a point where I'm like kind of proud, I guess, because I know so much more now about medical billing. I'm like, I kind of, yeah, I don't mind being like, I do medical billing. It's kind of like cool. But I think in the beginning I was doing it just to help out because, children should help their parents. So I was just helping out. And so I was just learning on the spot. And I don't know why I am rambling about this. Anyways, I'm saying all that to say, I do a lot of researching, and it's sometimes, quite often, I feel like my mind is clouded. That's obviously for a lot of reasons. Clearly, with like mental health, I have anxiety and depression. So obviously, and then that's like on the surface, on the like the surface level, what humans call it. We call it anxiety, depression, mental illness, and stuff like that. On a spiritual level, I attribute it to like my Scorpio moon. I attribute it to my Saturn Atmakarka, to the life path 11. Like, as awesome of a birth chart as I have, there are aspects of my birth chart that also, like, it's so crazy because I have a very awesome Venus, but like, and I have a very awesome Mercury as my chart ruler. But it's so funny, like, how awesome and then terrible, they just make you average. So I don't know, sometimes it's like you can feel, I mean, and I've always felt all the potential that I've had in me. And every once in a while, I'll like, it'll strike if Saturn's on my side, it'll strike and like, oh, the potential, finally kicked off. But man, I've also had it all taken away with that K2 Mahadasha and just, y'all know when I be talking to y'all, I be going all over the place. So sorry. Either you're vibing or you're not. But what I'm realizing with more surety, because I think I always knew, but going back to my Reddit post, it's not that knowledge is evil, but it is true. Too much of anything is detrimental. And I do quite often feel like, and I'm sure a lot of Gemini ascendants probably feel like this, that being a receptacle, like being a wishing well and always receiving tons of pennies, at some point you're a fountain that just has that have tons of copper inside of you. If it's pennies, you have tons of copper. You know what I'm saying? And like, it kind of it mixes with your chemistry. And so knowing a lot of information, having a lot of things being poured into me on purpose, because I'm searching this stuff out, I like to just learn. Having a lot of stuff pour into me, it just clouds me. And I honestly feel like I'm aware of the simple fact that I know too much for my own good. And I also realize you can never know it all. Like, I was on this deep search trying to figure out who is God exactly? What is God exactly? What is this? And you know what I'm saying? You just get to the point where you realize this is the biggest question. This is the biggest philosophical question that has been asked for centuries, and we still don't know. And, like I said, humanity is progressing. We're progressing. So I do think at some point in the end, we will find out who God is, the universe, what consciousness really is. But it ain't now. We've been doing this since before Rome. We've been trying to figure out, why are we here? So, the more I know, the more I realize I don't know anything. Of course, that is something that is just even more prevalent. But I'm also realizing the more I know, the less time and energy I put into knowing what I need to know. So I have a lot of filler information, a lot of random facts, a lot of random nuggets. And it's just kind of like, oh, great. Wow, an ATM of information, but I only need 20 bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it feels like. So it's interesting. And, I'm only 31, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that thought process improves, and obviously, Jesus, please don't let it like downgrade. I'm not looking forward to that. But it's just life. And if one thing my mentally challenging life has taught me is roll with the punches, accept what's for you is for you, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. It just is what it is. And try to make the best of the situation, because the truth is, as long as you're still alive, the engine is running. The engine is running. And, maybe I believe in this selfishly for hope, because even in my darkest hours, for some reason, I think it's the Saturn Atmakarka, I for some reason can't fully get rid of hope. Even though I feel hopeless, I'm still like, maybe this. Like, the dedication to try to get it right is crazy for us Saturn Atmakarkas. Like, that is a very typical Saturn Atmakarka thing, is like, not even resilience, but like persistence. Like, just continuing to maintain. No matter how bad it gets, just continuing to maintain. Obviously, it can get so bad. Like for me, when I had my very serious suicide attempt, I've done a video on that already, but literally waking up, and as soon as I came to, my first thought was, damn, I'm still alive? Like, how did I not die? You know what I'm saying? For that, though, that really taught me, some people can end their life, some of us can't. You really can only play the cards you're dealt. And you really can, like, I've seen so many different things from literally the top of the mountain, because I was very smart. So in grade school, I've gotten opportunities, I've gotten scholarships, like amazing college. Like, I was doing so many great things. And then when that K2 Mahadasha hit, that just kind of changed everything. Then of course you go through your Saturn return, and I have seen so many different things for only to be 31, which is again a Saturn Atmakarka thing. We like turn old quite quickly, and our energy turns old quite quickly, which is kind of a weird thing to be a Gemini ascendant but a Saturn Atmakarka, because my persona, my personality is very young and energetic. But like the more you get to know me, you get to see more of my moon, and especially my Saturn Atmakarka, and you realize I may be fidgety, but like if you catch me on like when I'm I don't know, freshly off my sleeping pills and I'm actually relaxed and calm, or if you catch me like when I'm tired, I've run my brain into finally being tired, you realize, and you get to talk to me, you'll realize this this nigga has a lot of stories. Like I quite often in my soul, I literally feel like I'm already the old guy. I know I'm a girl, but I really identify with my masculine energy. But like I quite often feel like the old grandpa who's like sitting on the porch and is just telling war stories to his kids. I mean his grandkids. Like that's how I feel already, and I'm clearly nowhere that, but that's how I feel in my soul. Saturn Atmakarka. So yeah, I'm just learning so much at 31 about acceptance of what is, acceptance of what comes regardless of what that is. And I'm learning so much about, how some people, like you can tell somebody, oh, you don't focus on everything, focus on one thing. And some people are so like that's just their path, where they're like, I don't care to know the depths of things, and they'll just do their path and just follow that. And they have a purpose in all of that, so that's amazing. But some of us are the kind of people where we'll be on a path, we'll teeter off because we see something, whether it's shiny or it could be like the ugliest thing in the world, but we have to go investigate. So all of those, that creates these different experiences, and it feels like a tree with tons of branches going in different ways. And so while it's beautiful, it definitely is like, damn, I don't need all these extra branches. I see the beauty in it though. um, I feel like somewhere along the way, some kid's gonna want to tie their tire swing to one of the branches, and I'll be like, "Oh, thanks for making that branch useful." You know what I mean? Like I was done with that branch 5 years ago. I'm so glad somebody's using it. You know what I mean? So it's advantageous in the sense that I'm probably one of the people in the room that's like, "Oh, I have advice for that. If you're interested, take it or leave it," and that's pretty cool. But there is still that reality of, regardless of how God designed me to be, sometimes you're just like, damn, I don't want that in my toolkit. Like, damn, I don't want to be, the tree with all these branches. I wish I was just one tall oak or pine tree or something. Like, you know what I mean? Just something very singular, you know. But not everybody gets that. I don't really remember what I was talking about or what the purpose of this video was. You know me, I just be ranting. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful face.